Hello everyone, it is Valley Girl 5678 here, Brooklyn's biggest Swiftie. The end of the year is upon us, and with that comes the reveal of my top 30 songs of the year, and in the next video, top 20 albums of the year. I want to preface this video by saying I definitely missed a lot of great music this year. There's always too much for one person to, not only listen to and process, but develop a subjective opinion on. But especially this year, 2022, great year for music. So yeah, please leave me recommendations for great music of the year other than Ethel Cain, because I already know I need to get into her, okay? Let's get into it. Coming in at number 30 is Love Story by Black Midi. Now you may be thinking, is this a cover of Love Story by your queen, Taylor Allison Swift? Yes, it is. But it is a cover by Black Midi, the most up-and-coming, avant-garde, Gen Z. I don't even know what genre to put them in. I'm gonna say punk. They're so post-genre. Normally I wouldn't put a cover on a top songs of the year list, but since it's Love Story by Taylor Swift covered by Black Midi, it's a completely different song. Specifically, the instrumentation is just taken to a whole nother different level. The saxophone kills it. We get an incredible vocal performance from their leading man, and they make this song gay, which is what this song is. Now, Taylor Swift has a lot of gay music in her discography, as you know, I've been discussing my past two videos. But Love Story is famously the most generally popular one, but it's so geniusly explained or washed with the metaphorical narrative of Romeo and Juliet that the sentiments of yearning for a love you want but can never have gets lost in the famous heterosexual fairy tale. Black Midi returns to the gay roots of this song with lyrics like, "You'll be the prince and I'll be the prince too." I prefer this cover to the original. Like, it might be because I've heard Love Story, the original, so many times. And I prefer the majority of her discography to the song. Of course, it's an amazing song, but I think this fresh take on it by Black Midi has really made me fall back in love with the song that made Taylor Swift. So, slay. Coming in at number 29 is Body Paint by the Arctic Monkeys. This song has gorgeous, poetic lyricism. It's a classic Alex Turner slay, and in my opinion, the instrumentation is actually what makes the song so good, especially the little instrumental breaks throughout the song, the like boom, 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 like, yeah, good stuff. Coming in at number 28, What I Want by Muna. Yeah, I think it's Muna. It's not Muna. It's Muna. Yeah. The song is so satisfying to the eardrum. It's catchy AF. The production is so crispy, so chef's kiss, with the amazingly written melody and lyrics from leading lady Katie, who also gives an incredible vocal performance on this track. Makes for one of the best pop songs of the year, not to mention the messaging is, very needed. Coming in at number 27 is Good Will Hunting by Black Country New Road. Now, this album that they put out this year, Ants from Up There, it's all very interesting because the lead singer, Isaac Wood, has left the band, or apparently left the band right before this new album came out. So with that context, his incredibly nuanced vocal performance is extra heartbreaking, knowing that it is about the subject matter of the song, but also can be related to his exit from the band. Now, I was back and forth for a while on whether the chorus was effective or stupid. She's got Billie Eilish style, moving to Berlin for a little while, trying to find something to hold on to. Never texts me nothing but she wants to. Tell me she's not that hard to find. I decided it's very effective. Painting that superficial picture of this person he's talking about to very quickly make a existential take on her life. She's got Billie Eilish style. She moved to Berlin for a little while. She's trying to find something to hold on to. I love the juxtaposition of something so superficial to something so deep. It's one of the best, classic Black Country New Road instrumental and general builds, but it's done in one of the most succinct ways on the album, which makes it one of the most listenable tracks on the album. Don't get me wrong, I love this album. It will be making an appearance on my top 20 albums of the year. As an old Gen Zer with a constantly declining attention span, songs like Bread Song that are amazing but are 10 minutes long, I get lost in those instrumental builds. So when they're able to maintain that, you know, dramatic build, dramatic just like switch up halfway through the song, melody-wise, instrumentation-wise, but keep it under 5 minutes, it's honestly really impressive. Coming in at number 26 is Bored in Bristol from Always, Canada's Finest. This song can best be described as a longful, upbeat, yet sad, dreamy, self-effacing indie rock cut. The combination of the melody and the production makes for the type of song that immediately feels like it's petting your brain. Coming in at number 25 is Bites on My Neck by Yul. This is a perfect progressive pop song. It's also a perfect example of a post-hyperpop pop track. The combination of the 2010s like EDM production with some R&B production and some hyperpop production, that sounds like what? But it so works. It so works. And then it's also beautifully written with sentiments of experiencing betrayal from a true love, arguably the worst kind of betrayal. And the title of the song, which obviously makes an appearance throughout the track, Bites on My Neck, is a perfect metaphor for this theme of betrayal from a true love. There's, you know, sensual bites on the neck, and then there's violent bites on the neck. Here Yul really expresses how she has experienced both versions of these bites on the neck by this ex-lover of hers and where it's left her emotionally. Yet she's done it through a track that makes you want to like jump up and down and like good stuff. Coming in at number 24, Treat Me Like a Slut by Kim Petras. Treat me like a slut, a little dirty bitch I love to fuck. That's kind of all I have to say. It was very disgustingly produced by Dr. Luke. I really hope her next project is not working with him. I mean, I understand. Clearly, he has made some of the best pop music of the century so far. But he's also a terrible, terrible man, and there are plenty other producers that are, you know, at least not as terrible men as he is. Number 23 is Two Ways by Florist. This track has such a strong theme of the duality of life that is beautifully portrayed through the lyricism of Emily. And the track ends with a sort of stream of consciousness, group of existential questions that is super, super tragic with the context of what happened to her, I believe, in 2019. Coming in at number 22 is Shatter by Maggie Rogers. This is a synth rock bop. Her vocals and just her performance all around on this track is incredible. Her energy shines through completely. It's just a really fun, sweet song all around. Number 21 is Firefly by Shy Girl. This is another post-hyperpop sleigh cut. The combination of the effervescent boppy production with the groovy ass melody makes for... This song is so reminiscent of Pink Panthers, which makes complete sense because they very much exist within the same genre in the same country. I especially love the chorus. Coming in at number 20 is Loose by Grace Ives. The fresh, technologically funky beat and production with the incredibly expressive performance from Ives, not to mention the incredibly poetic and fresh lyricism, makes for one of the best indie pop cuts of the year. All around slay. Number 19 is Lydia Wears a Cross by my girl Julia Jacqueline. Now this indie bop has a tone of melancholy to it that mostly stems from the subject matter of the track, being how the mass practice of organized religion has stripped many children of their childhood. And it's coming from someone who very obviously experienced this phenomenon and is now looking back on it, and ultimately she admits that she is no longer a believer, and it really sums up the general theme of the whole album Pre-Pleasure that this is the first track on, so I think it's just a really great opening track for the album as well. Coming in at number 18 is This Hell by Rina Sawayama. This is such a fun, campy single off of Hold the Girl, and it manages to utilize country and rock influences to create an incredibly like poppy pop song, which is so camp in itself. But what's even more slay is how Rina took this very basic and honestly tired take, queer people are going to hell, and took what the general response is from the queer community and turned it into the girly gay camp pop song of the year. It's giving Gaga so strongly, like most of her stuff does. Coming in at number 17 is Dead End by Banks. Banks is so underrated. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is a classic Slay Banks track with the subtly auto-tuned to melancholic, eerie perfection, catchy ass melody, new age R&B production. The combination of all of those things, it just twists your heart. Not to mention the subject matter being, if you're gonna end this, let me know so I can end it first. Oof. Big oof. Love you, Banks. Keep slaying. Coming in at number 16 is Working for the Knife by my communist queen Mitski. This is a very relatable hashtag late capitalism track that so beautifully spells out the quiet tragedy of being alive right now. And while the way she thinks is so kind of out of left field and not obvious, she has always been so incredibly relatable, and this song is a perfect example of that. And just the message of, you know, I'm working for the knife, to at the end of the song, I'm dying for the knife, literally puts anti-capitalist rhetoric in such a neat little Ziploc bag to be handed out. Coming in at number 15 is God Turned Me Into a Flower by Wise Blood. The way that she relays her emotional experience as being herself through her lyricism in this song with the metaphor of soft and hard is super, super impressive. The song sounds like a beautiful depressive episode / existential spiral, which continues with the song instrumentally after she's done with her confessions of a sort, with an instrumental outro of nature sounds and synths that seems to say something about life itself. Coming in at number 14 is Plan B by Megan Thee Stallion. Icon. Winner. Now, I'm so glad I'm recording this post the trial. Men don't like her because she flips the misogynistic narrative that men have just, that men as a gender has just, you know, literally lived on since the beginning of time, utilizes it, flips it on their heads, uses it against them, and says, you guys created this shit, so. And that cannot be exemplified better than in this song. The way she samples Get Money by the Notorious B.I.G. with the famous line, fuck bitches, get money. She chews it up, takes a second to put lip gloss on, spits it back out on their entire gender, and yeah, she just delivers the most ultimate, degrading, savage, demeaning burn to their entire gender, utilizing the ideas that they created. Now, this is why I say that she is one of the most important people in pop music and pop culture right now. Coming in at number 13 is 5D from Licky Lee. In this track, she plays around thematically with the tragedy of romantic loss through the, to be honest, tired metaphor of if this was a movie. Yet she manages to take this tired take and make it fresh. And I think it's because her genuity really comes through with her lyricism, her vocal performance, and the production and melody of this track that is so true to her as an artist. So much of her music kind of sounds like the auditorial representation of like drowning, and this song is a really good example of that. Number 12 is Change by Big Thief. This is a beautifully written indie folk cut about life. The electric guitar or banjo, I'm not it's definitely electric, but I can't tell if it's a guitar or a banjo or whatever. Those little instrumental moments really tie the song together. Coming in at number 11 is Talk by Biba Doobie. This is one of the best indie rock songs of the year from one of the best on the indie scene, period. Her use of grunge is so satisfying. It was really hard to pick like a best song off of this album, but I went with my gut more than anything else. The verses honestly do it for me, like, why'd you have to be so complicated? I love a good early 2000s reference. I'm sorry. Nostalgia is in. Okay, we are in the top 10. Number 10 is Fair by Normani. This is a perfect R&B cut. Oh my god. The use of autotune slays, and the melody is insane. Her vocal performance is amazing. It really sounds like Charli XCX was like in the back of the studio, especially with the post-chorus, like, ooh, that autotune, it's giving Charli. It's giving Charli, baby. But yeah, this track made me really excited for whatever full-length project she is putting out. Number 9 is Shotgun by Soccer Mommy. In my opinion, this is the best indie rock cut of the year. The metaphor of shotgun goes absolutely crazy. Like, whenever you want me, I'll be around. I'm a bullet in a shotgun waiting to sound. Woof! And of course we have the use of grunge again, which makes complete sense given that Sophie of Soccer Mommy and B from Beabadoobee are the same age, within the same genre. I especially love the instrumentation on this track and her very indie girl longing vocal performance. Number 8 is Ancestress by Bjork. Now obviously, I like Bjork. She is truly Bjorking in this new album of hers that came out this year, and especially in this track. The intense, tragic, detailed yet existential and expansive account of her mother's demise that is this song is a lot, and it's paired perfectly with this incredible orchestral instrumentation. This song is a piece of fine art. Bjork really lays it all on the table emotionally, expressively, artistically, and it's just so amazing that this deep into her career she is still so ahead of the game, even though she's been ahead of the game since the 90s. Coming in at number 7 is Meta Angel by FKA Twigs. This is another track that Charli must have been in the studio for. The use of autotune, the harmonies, the crispy, harsh, yet very groovy production. But with that all aside, it's an incredibly vulnerable, existential track from Twigs. Number 6, Alien Superstar by Queen Bee. In my opinion, this is the song off of Renaissance. Virgo's Groove does come in quickly behind number 2, but Alien Superstar contains the general theme of the album in the one song and ties in many different songs from the album, specifically Unique and I'm That Girl. And Beyonce is indeed and will always be that girl. Number 5, Ghost in the Machine by SZA feat. Phoebe Bridgers. It's the best song in SOS. I'm sorry. Well, obviously, all of these songs on this list are songs of the time. This one is the biggest song of the time, in my opinion. Mostly through the theme of the song itself and the lyricism, but also just like SZA feat. Phoebe Bridgers is really good representation of where the culture is at musically. And I am loving it. The Phoebe feature is perfect, and the way the production picks up at the end of the Phoebe feature into the final chorus, like, never gets old for me. I love it. Yeah, I just can't get enough of this song. It's so good. Number 4, Constant Repeat by Charli XCX. This was my top song of 2022 according to Spotify. Just that simple fact that the production is on constant repeat. It's the perfect example of how simplicity of choice can be, and often is, the most effective way to create art. It's a perfect pop song. It's a perfect Charli song. But yeah, iconic song. Coming in at number 3 is Antihero by Taylor motherfucking Swift. This song broke all of those records for a reason, okay? Now, this is not my favorite song on Midnights. It's not. But it is the ultimate Jack and Taylor track with some of her best lyrics ever. Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby and I'm a monster on the hill. Did you hear my covert narcissism that I disguised as altruism like some kind of congressman? I have this dream my daughter-in-law kills me for the money. She thinks I left them in the will. The family gathers around and then someone reads it and screams out she's laughing up at us from hell. While my personal favorite tracks on this album are Maroon and Midnight Rain, I couldn't not put this song as, you know, the song off Midnights in the top 30 songs of the year list, given like all the records it's broken. Yeah, just love you, Tay. Coming in at number 2. Yes. She's years ahead artistically, yet is still managing to utilize aesthetics that are reminiscent of the past, that just comes through her general spirit, with examples such as the very divine choral outro and lyrics like overfloweth. She's really fucking strange, but it makes for her being one of the most interesting artists in pop right now. It reminds me of Grimes in the aughts, which is sad. Number 1, The Heart Part 5 by Kendrick. And the land that hurt people, fuck calling it culture. That line is the representation of the genius observation of American culture that Kendrick, to be frank, has been making his entire career. And then in the second part of the track, after laying out the context and environment that sets him up for the foreshadowing of his death, the full circle of it all is absolutely insane. It's mind-blowing. So yeah, those are my top 30 songs of the year. Let me know what you think in the comments. My playlist with all of these songs in order, including 5 honorable mentions at the end, are linked below. Remember to like and subscribe and share, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!